Hi there, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is July 15th. We're halfway through the month already. And it's, boy, has it been busy, super busy. I had a 4-day weekend in Cincinnati, which was a lot of fun. Visited with Emily, and we had lots of good times and laughs and memories made. And I saw my friend Mary Pat just very, very briefly. And then on Monday, before I came back, I met with Rita Holmes on my team and took her to breakfast to celebrate her $100,000 personal sales achievement. It's a big deal, so I wanted to do something special for her, and we ended up having a 3-hour breakfast. So lots of good conversation, lots of fun. Good laughs, a few tears. So she's a really sweet lady and a good friend. So I'm glad I could do that for her. And then this weekend, I'm going away for another 4-day weekend. I never do this. Like, what was I thinking? But it's okay. I'm going to a crop here in Amish country in Ohio with my friend Tracy, and looking forward to that. And you know, I'm tired and I'm really busy, and I'm thinking I'm not going to get all my work done in these couple of days between trips. But, you know, life is short. And it brings me happiness and joy to be able to have a flexible schedule and be able to spend time with family and friends. So I'm blessed that way that I get to make that choice. And I hope you get to enjoy some time to spend with your family and friends and those you hold dear. So we're going to get started right away because I'm excited about the technique I'm going to show you. So I'm going to flip my camera around now, and while I'm doing that, would you please share this live video and invite others to join us this afternoon. You can even tag your friends in the comments if that helps to make them aware and join in with us. And yeah, looking forward to getting started. Okay, let me slip my glasses on. Now, last week, I didn't have any lives, but I did end up making a quick video that has been posted to my blog, stampinpiece.com, and it's also on my YouTube channel called Stampin' Piece with Mary Knabe. And basically, I was showcasing our two-tone cardstock and different ways it could be used. And the one way is to simply crumple it. Crumble in your hands, crumble, 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 crunch it, fold it out, recrumble, and do it over and over several times just to get some texture, okay? And what I did was cased one of the cards from my July one-sheet wonder and just remade it with that crumpled two-tone cardstock. So this is a little more, it's still thick, but it's a little more flexible than our standard cardstock. And the more you crumble it, you might get some of the white core showing through, or you could even sand it to bring some of that white through. And then I made another card, also casing one of my July one-sheet wonder cards. It's the same thing, only I cut a piece of the two-tone Old Olive cardstock a little wider. I believe I cut this 3 inches or 2 3/4, pretty much 3 inches, I think. And then I just tore along both the top and bottom edges. So you see I get, it's basically the same layout, but I get a little bit of a different look to the card. This is more distressed, shabby chic looking. Same with the crumpled cardstock, more distressed, shabby chic looking. And then I wanted to make a card in the video where I was using both the light and dark shades, the front and the back sides of the old olive cardstock. So I made this, and I simply cut strips of DSP, Two-Tone Cardstock, and the middle one I flipped over so I had the dark showing, light, dark, light, and then I just tore the edges of each and layered them, and colored this pretty flower, or 2 flowers, from the Mixed Florals stamp set. Today I'm going to show you another different technique that you can use with the Two-Tone Cardstock. So I got all my pieces here, so let me pull these out. So I'm really going to do some layering. I am using Secret Sea, okay, that real deep blue Secret Sea, and I'm using the Petunia Pop Two-Tone Cardstock, okay. This one is cut to 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and I'm wanting the light shade up on top. Did you notice I was packaging today and yesterday, like hours and hours and dozens of packages, and I flicked off my 2 thumbnails and I didn't take the time to put them back on. But hey, I'm here. I showed up, right? Okay, and then this piece measures 4 3/4. Let me double check. 4 3/4 by 3 1/2 inches. And for this, I want the dark side facing up, okay? Dark side facing up. And I'm gonna set that aside for right now. And then this piece of Secret Sea, I made just a little bit larger, 5 inches by 3 3/4. And I will end up layering these. But first, I want to work with this paper. And I'm going to do some scoring. If you have the Stampin' Up paper trimmer, you know you have a scoring blade. It's the one that's a lighter shade. And I want my dark shade, dark side facing up. So for this technique, I'm flipping it over. So whatever you want your front to be, flip it over and expose the back. And then on this piece, again, which measures 4 3/4 by 3 1/2 inches, I'm going to score at 1/4 inch and then 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. And remember, you want to press firmly enough that you get the score, you get the feel of the score, but you don't want to press so hard that you go through your paper. So it's really better to just, instead of pressing real hard 1 or 2 times, just go back and forth a bit with a slight pressure. You can even test it out on a piece of scrap paper of the same kind. And I'll do my 3rd side again, scoring at 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. Now in the past, I've made some cards like this, and we kind of highlighted that scoring and maybe put a sentiment or a stamped image or DSP in the middle or something like that. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I've got a sanding block, and Stampin' Up used to sell sanding blocks a long time ago. We no longer have those, but some of you that have been around Stampin' Up for a while may have that. If not, I bought this on Amazon. You can even use a very fine grade of sandpaper, okay? But I like to swirl when I sand. I don't know why, but that's what I do. And I seem to get a good effect. It seems to be easier for me. So I'm just going around the outside edges and sanding over those score lines. Notice I made the score lines on the back side, on the light side, flipped it over, and I'm scoring or sanding on the dark side. Sanding those score lines that are elevated on the dark side. And you do as much as you want. If you get some white core showing around the edges, that's fine too. Or if some areas go a little lighter, that's all right too. It works just fine. Okay. What I love about this is each one turns out a little bit different, and it really just adds some nice texture and interest to your cards that we wouldn't otherwise have with our regular cardstock layers. So another benefit of using two-tone cardstock. Did anybody take advantage of the sale Stampin' Up had on two-tone cardstock last week? I did, because I've been wanting to get more in more colors. So I definitely took advantage of that, and I'm so glad I did. But with others buying the two-tone cardstock, I thought now is a good time to show some different techniques that you can do with it. And we all know that two-tone cardstock is great for our scrapbook pages, but you can also make cards with it. You could do collages, any paper crafting, 3D items. But it really is fun to apply some different techniques at times. Now, so that's the basis of my card, and I'm going to finish it off. I die cut this from the Florals in Bloom Designer Series paper. Okay, and the die is from the Sweet Blooms die set, which are coordinating. You guys have probably seen this and know this. It's very popular. The Florals in Bloom paper. That's my favorite one in here. And that's a close second. And third and fourth. I love them all, really. I tend to go with the pinks a little bit more. And then you get some fun patterns and colors on the back sides to use. And that coordinates with the Sweet Blooms stamp set and dies. And there are not a whole lot of dies in here. But what I really, this is the one I use to cut out that piece of DSP for the inside of my card. But what I really like about these is how you can combine stamping and layering of papers with die cuts. So it definitely is a fun set to have, and one that I think will bring you lots of enjoyment for a long time. And I always love things where I can mix and match. Now with this, you can see these two dies go together. The one is a very narrow script, and the other is meant to be the layer behind that script. So I've already cut out that layer, but I do need to cut out the script word. And I went ahead and put a piece of adhesive sheet behind that. So you can see there's my adhesive sheet. When you apply an adhesive sheet, and this is a common mistake for people using adhesive sheets maybe for the first time or haven't used it in a while. Whatever you want the front side to be, it should be facing up. The back side of your paper is what goes on the sticky part, okay? What goes on the adhesive sheet, the adhesive part. I'll just die cut this. It's the word bloom. Whoops. You can see how easily and how well it die cuts. There we go. Push that piece out. And I like to use, I'm going to get this ready. I like to use my, take your pick tool, that piercing tip, to just kind of start to pull up that adhesive backing. And once you've got a little bit, it pulls up really, really easily. Whoops, I'm pulling the cardstock. There we go. See how easily that pulls off? And then I don't try to stick down the whole word at once. I go letter by letter. So I'm going to start over here with the B for bloom. And just take my time. This is always harder to do when I have an audience watching. I practiced on a different card earlier today, and I was like, oh, this is so easy. I didn't need to practice. But it is different when you've got an audience, right? And I just keep going along until I've got it all pressed in place on the back layer. So I'm going to add this word with just a few dimensionals, mini dimensionals. If you don't have the minis, just cut your big ones into narrow pieces. I even cut a little narrow piece for this letter here. I'm going to pull that backing up on each of those dimensionals. And then I'm going to adhere it to this strip. Now this strip started out being, let me think, it looks like 5 inches. 5 inches by 1 inch, and I just banner cut each end. I'm going to layer this on top of that banner. And I've already added some dimensionals there. So, and I don't think this is too bad because my mini dimensionals and my larger dimensionals are in different places, so they're not directly overlapping one or the other. So it should not be a problem at all going through the mail system here in the USA. I'm not sure about other countries. Here in the USA, it's 1/4 inch. It has to fit through a 1/4 inch slot when it's in the envelope. And then I have this one, where you're planted. So bloom where you're planted. And I already stamped it from the Sweet Bloom stamp. And you know what I did wrong though? You know what? I'm just going to change it because it's going to bother me. I stamped it in black when it really should have been stamped in Secret C. And in a minute, I'll show you why I stamped in black and not the Secret C. Not intentionally, but, and it is a photopolymer set. So I'm just going to set this down here. Oh, this one was 4 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And then I am going to banner cut. I can't get rid of my banner punch. I know it's retired, but I bet many, many, many of you have it. And if not, you can just cut a little banner with your paper snips. Does everybody know how to do that? I want to show you here in case you don't know the trick for banner cutting. You're just going to make a tiny cut in the middle of one end, and then you're going to cut from each corner to the top of that little slit you cut. And there you get your banner end. Okay? So if you don't have the banner punch, that's what I recommend you do to cut your banners. So I'm stamping with Secret C ink to match my Secret C cardstock, which you can hardly tell a difference between this and black right now, but trust me, it is, okay? And then I'm going to add this to my card front with a little bit of glue. And this I'm setting over to the side to the right just a little bit, okay? Now, I know many of you don't like to fussy cut, but I really wanted these flowers from the DSP on this card. And I was going to fussy cut them all ahead of time. You can see I started. But I thought, no, I want to show you just how quick and easy this is to cut out these flowers and leaves. Just doing 2 flowers and 2 leaves from the DSP. I am cutting right on the outside edge or outline of the flowers and leaves. I'm not leaving any space. By not leaving any space, if I make a goof, nobody knows, because I didn't leave, there's not an awkward white space that maybe isn't the same even spacing as the rest. So I cut right on the edge of the image. Okay, quick and easy, right? Let me do this other one. I know, does anybody enjoy fussy cutting? I find it can be relaxing. Now, do I want to cut 100 of these? Probably not. But if you're just making a card or 2 or 3, to me, I find the cutting relaxing. One thing to keep in mind when you're cutting, your scissors move very little. It's your paper that you're really manipulating. So you just keep turning the paper as you need to, and then you make your tiny cuts. Way back in the day, I taught elementary school, kindergarten, first and second. And kids who had trouble with cutting, it was because they were trying to like hold their leaf and cut like this. Well, your hand can only go so far, right? Makes perfect sense. So that's why we say we want to be able to move that paper as we need to. And I'm sad to say that the manufacturer of Stampin' Up! Paper snips is no longer making our snips, and inventory on these snips has been depleted quickly. I have a few that I had purchased long before I heard this news last week. So if you need some, let me know. But basically what I'm saying is they are no more. So Stampin' Up! Is working to find another manufacturer that can make us some snips that we will love just as much as the ones we've had all these years. And you know, it's just life. It's disappointing, but life goes on, right? In the whole scheme of life, it's scissors. But I have to say, I have always bragged about our paper snips. I have found them to be the best. I have multiple pairs, and even when I was doing in-person classes, they would get used so frequently and just really good. And I think maybe one time I took them all to get sharpened, just because it was convenient for me to do it that time, but I can't even say that they all needed it then, despite how much they were being used in classes and such. Okay, so there's my card. I think I do want to add just a wee bit of bling to it. So I've pulled out these iridescent faceted gems, iridescent faceted gems. And while I'm thinking of it, I said I was doing lots of packaging today. That's because I've been selling some of my retired Stampin' Up! Product in a private Facebook group. Some of you may have already joined that group, maybe made some purchases. I have to remember the name of it. Hold on. I'll double check before I tell you, because it's kind of a long name. Retired Stampin' Up! Product Sale, hosted by Stampin' Piece with Mary Knabe. Okay. Let me see if I can, I don't know if I can grab the link, and I don't know if I can post it in the comments. Well, let's try this, because that would be easier for you, wouldn't it? Oh, I think I can, right? I've never done that. Posted while I was live. To share now. Okay. Oh, maybe I didn't. Oh, there we go. So that is there. There are lots and lots of stamp sets, $10 per stamp set. There are some Stampin' Die bundles. There's a few Stampin' Punch bundles. What else? Some DSP, ribbons, all kinds of things. All kinds of things. Alrighty. So if you're interested in that, you can go there. Yes, lots of bargains, Wendy. Lots of bargains. So that is my finished card. And again, I was highlighting our Two-Tone Cardstock in Petunia Pop. So the larger layer in the back is the light side, and the smaller layer in the front, I did the dark side. But I scored on the back side of this piece, flipped it over, and then sanded those elevated score lines. So just a fun little way to use our two-tone cardstock to add more interest and more texture to your cards you're making. Okay, what do you think? Yes? No? Have you tried two-tone cardstock? Are you loving it? And if so, what are you using it for? What are you using it for? I'm planning to take mine on to my crop this weekend, but I like the versatility of it, so that I can use it for all kinds of different ways. All right, who would like to have their name put into the drawing to receive this card? And I will show you my sample too. If you would, please type in the comments now. How about Two-Tone Cardstock? TWO-TONE. Two-Tone Cardstock. So here is my sample. You can see they are very, very close. But now you can probably see the difference between the black base and the Secret C base. Okay, and my banner is from that black and white designer series paper that's so beautiful that I can't think of the name of right now. Let me pull it out. It is Botanical Textures. Botanical Textures, another super popular DSP. So, but yeah, I used the same Petunia Pop two-tone cardstock, and I used black instead of the Secret C. Okay, both for the ink and the cardstock. Did some fussy cutting of flowers. Here I added 3 flowers, but no embellishments. And here I did 2 flowers with 3 embellishments. So just a few little changes. Oh, I also put another layer of the black cardstock with the two-tone cardstock. So I have light, dark, light, and then dark on Bloom. Whereas here I have light, dark, and then the light shade on the word Bloom. Beth, you like this one? I do too. I do too. I think, you know, and again, there's nothing wrong with this one. If I had showed you this, made this for you, you would have been very happy with it, right? But why not use that Secret C? Honestly, I never thought I would like Secret C, but I am loving it. Loving it. Quite a surprise to me. I did not expect that. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I will not be doing a Facebook Live on this Thursday, the 17th, because I will be in Amish country for the crop. But I may get in a quick, short video. I will try. Okay, I've got lots to do before I leave. But I will try to do that for you. Okay? I hope you all have a great evening. Thanks so much for joining me and being a part of my day. It always brings me joy and happiness to be able to connect with all of you in this setting. So have a great evening, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.